Code Vein 2 is shaping up to be one of the most enjoyable Souls-like games you've played in years. It not only improves upon systems and quirks present in the original game, but also it offers something truly fresh in a genre packed with fierce competition. After playing Bandai Namco's upcoming sequel for a few hours at preview, we can confidently say that it's a bloody good time, with enough depth for even the most hardened action game fans to sink their teeth into.
Careful now. It may be a vestige, but it's still a potent mass of energy.
Code Vein 2, like its predecessor, throws you, the player, into a gothic horror setting filled with gorgeous anime flair. This time around, you find yourself on the precipice of disaster, having to dive back through time to track down a variety of heroes tragically destined to play a part in a great catastrophe. As such, it's your job to learn more about these figures, battling through hordes of horrific goons and daunting bosses as you go. Like the original game, Code Vein 2 is a visual delight. Our preview took us through a human settlement, an underground urban sprawl, and the guts of buried machinery, which showed off the anime stylings, the world design flicking from dark and sketchy to wickedly vivid. When it comes to combat, ribbons of gold jettison off your powerful jail attacks and combos erupt in brain-buzzing VFX. It's hard to take your eyes off Code Vein 2 when the combat starts. The character creator 2 is a fantastic first impression, offering much more than many of Code Vein 2's peers have managed. You can make a surprising amount of alterations to your character, and the minute differences in colour and shape you can make to the smallest of features. For those unswayed by the joys of an hour-long design process though, a rich spread of appealing defaults are of course provided. Regardless of what group of Code Vein 2 players you're in though, from minute 1 to minute 500, it is a gorgeous treat. But what about the action itself? Well, there is more to Code Vein 2 than extravagant presentation. Code Vein 2 is one of those special action games that allows you to revel in the cathartic feel of a solid blow. Each strike from a heavy weapon is a cocktail of visual and auditory kickback that goes straight to your brain's pleasure boxes. The rapid combos of more dexterous arms trade one larger blow for a cavalcade of smaller ones, their sum the measure of bulkier counterparts. Ranged weapons too manage to retain this gushing game feel. The result? Every fight in Code Vein 2 feels exciting. The hammer weapon type, for example, allows you to charge up massive attacks before letting them loose on foes. Sometimes this resulted in a quick death on their part, other times it left them stunned and open to a cinematic finisher. Great stuff, and the most apparent improvement on the original Code Vein, which feels a tad sluggish in comparison. It's got crazy depth too, it's an all-round step forward from its predecessor. At its heart, you've got the same core, a typical Souls-like combat system with stamina and various stats that boost the different weapon types. If you've played one, you've played them all. Though, thanks to the aforementioned excellence at Code Vein 2's roots, even this base combat system is engaging. However, it's the sheer amount of customization available that makes Code Vein 2 stand apart from its peers. iCore returns, a resource that allows you to activate special attacks called Forme, and there's a vast list of these to play around with and swap out at your leisure. Your jail attacks can be changed, as can your weapons too, and the way your character plays is determined by something called a blood code, which act as general archetypes with their own quirks that are far more interesting than just a boring strength +5 modifier. One blood code used in the preview was tied to the companion Josee Anju. Usually, the only way to gain iCore is through jail attacks. The result is a combat loop in which you attack an enemy enough to pull off a jail attack, gain a bunch of iCore for special moves, then use them to further damage enemies, resulting in more opportunities to suck them dry. Nice, simple, and a solid foundation. But with Josee's blood code, each regular attack provides some iCore in return, allowing you to gain access to game-changing special attacks without having to rely on jail attacks. The downside? Gaining beyond the maximum amount of iCore actually damages you. This example totally turns Code Vein 2 on its head, and this is a game one assumes has dozens more like it. It's an inventive way to not only pay homage to different playstyles that someone may have, but a nice way to keep Code Vein 2 fresh as well.
I have our to-do list for the next decade itemized.
As for what hints of the story we were given during the preview, it certainly has a lot of potential. Hopping back and forth through time, getting to bond with a collective of diverse characters, and then leaping forward to clash against their more monstrous forms. It allows those willing to invest themselves into the narrative to connect with a series of individual tragedies, though how well that manages to win over people will obviously depend on how interesting those heroes of the past are. Josee, to her credit, was rowdy and fiery, but was given time to open up in a more emotionally stimulating fashion, though the speed in which you learn about her familial nightmare was rather fast-paced. Lou, your sidekick of sorts that enables your time-travelling adventure, is someone who we saw precious little of during the preview. Given that your personal relationship with them appears to be a cornerstone of the overarching tale of Code Vein 2, it will be interesting to see if their portrayal impresses in full release. There's one final thing to say about Code Vein 2 which may help to perk up the ears of the jaded Souls-like fans out there. Code Vein 2, unlike many of its contemporaries, appears to be going in its own original direction, away from the font of inspiration that the whole subgenre drinks from. It's doubling down on its strengths, on what won over a dedicated fan following when Code Vein released back in 2019. It is quite evidently climbing out of the Souls-like soup and setting itself apart with ample refinement and rich new ideas. For that alone, Code Vein 2 should be worth at least a cursory glance from anyone even vaguely interested in action games. Thank you so much for watching this preview. For those who can't wait to play Code Vein 2 for themselves, it will release on January 30th, 2026 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. So please do like this preview and subscribe to Eurogamer for more coverage on Code Vein 2 coming very soon. Goodbye.
If time were a weapon to wield, could you undo the sins of ruin? In this time, or maybe the next.